are. Hello.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to a rare Monday morning edition of A Soccer Fan Walks Into a Bar.
Keeping you guys on your toes.
Yeah, holiday weekend. My wife took it upon herself, not that I'm complaining, to book a spa overnight trip for us. So, Danny, what's going on, brother?
Oh, parcerito.
So a rare Monday morning episode, and then we'll be on our way. For those of you that are local to the area, directly after the show today, there will be a kids-friendly DJ party. Right upstairs in the tap room, so we're looking forward to that. Obviously, I know this will come up, in our next segment, but a wonderfully hosted pauper event last night or yesterday, all day pretty much, in the tap room. All thanks to these two gentlemen right next to me. So, how was your weekend, guys? How you been?
It was good.
Busy, exhausting, but very satisfactory.
Yes. That's always like, any of these, the Boxing Day events we've run, the Bournemouth events that we've run. Hopefully soon I can let you know about another huge event that we have coming up. But yeah, they're very rewarding, but it takes its toll, and you are absolutely wiped by the end of it. God. So.
Yeah.
So good. We had some snow overnight, apparently.
I guess it was
dusting.
All day. It said it was supposed to be like 1 to 3 inches. I look outside, there was nothing.
I left my car to the garage. I didn't even realize it was supposed to do anything. So.
But no, hey, listen, it's getting warmer. It's not teens anymore. Hopefully, it's not going back to the teens anymore. So. I'll take the little dust with some 40-degree weather instead of, having to look.
Oh, yeah.
Look, I'm wearing jeans, bro.
I know.
I'm not wearing 3XL pants with 3 layers underneath them.
Well, that's because...
He brought the salt inside with him.
Yeah. All right, so we did have a double match week of sorts, and we have Champions League coming up this week. Lots to talk about. We are going to, I was going to say in the spirit of the holiday, but that's not the right. But with the holiday and with the morning show, we're going to kind of just do a little bit more casual, coverage of the games. So we'll start midweek with match day 26 in the Premier League. Chelsea 2, Leeds 2. A furious comeback from Leeds away from home. And Leeds picking up more points, hopefully for their sake, staving off relegation. Yeah. They are starting to separate themselves a little bit. Let me see. I'll bring up the most up-to-date Premier League table right here.
Yep.
Yeah, Tottenham is trying to beat.
So Leeds are now on 30 points, 6 clear of West Ham, who are in 18th, and that potentially could be the difference for them. They're picking up, they're getting victories. They're picking up draws from top teams away from home.
They're punching up, as we like.
For the U.S. national team fans, Brendan Aronson still playing very well.
So good.
So good to see on all fronts for Leeds. Yeah. Although they are relatively.
Tottenham is doing his damn best to be able.
Yeah, we'll talk about them in a little bit. Up to Liverpool, Everton hosting Bournemouth. Everton went up late in the first half through a penalty conceded by Ryan, the young teenager. Then in the second half, 2 goals in 3 minutes from Ryan and Amin Adli, and Bournemouth take the victory 2-1 at Hill Dickinson Stadium.
I am impressed with
that. I mean, Diego and I were here live streaming the match. Bournemouth have now gone 6 matches straight in the league, including or 7 if you include the FA Cup draw, which they eventually lost in penalties to Newcastle. They have not lost since January 3rd, which was a 3-2 match against Arsenal. In the festive season, they are looking good. Yeah. They are back in the top half of the table, sitting in 9th, only. What is that? Maybe 7 points, potentially 8 points off of Champions League. Yes. Again, are they a Champions League team right now? No, but to be
able to
to be within grasp of that is absolutely incredible.
It's super important.
On the other end of the table, Tottenham Hotspur hosting Newcastle. It finished Tottenham 1, Newcastle 2, goals from Malik Chow and Jacob Ramsey for Newcastle, sandwiched around an Archie Gray goal in the 64th minute for Spurs. And that would suffice to say and be the last match with Thomas Frank in charge, sacked after 8 months on the job. He was officially replaced with Igor Tudor, is he Croatian? I believe he's Croatian.
Croatian.
The Croatian player, or former player, who was in charge at Juventus earlier in the year, and he was sacked. So the revolving door of management is in full effect
Unavoidable
these
right now.
days.
Yeah. I mean, the results are just supporting this decision.
Oh yeah, no, and to be clear, I think Thomas Frank is an excellent manager.
Yeah.
I think.
I think it's just the stigma around Tottenham.
Well, I mean
there's
that
a huge stigma around.
that
it.
is certainly a factor. I think, we said it a little bit with Diego and I were talking about this. We always start bringing up Arsenal for whatever reason, but the Gyökeres conversation we had last week.
Mm-hmm.
He's a great player. They've finally started to adjust around him, but he was not a good fit, in my opinion, for that squad. Or Isak with Liverpool. Thomas Frank is a great manager. Based on the other parts that they had in the post-Ange Postecoglou era, I don't think he was the right guy for that job. And now we see the fruit of it.
No, yeah,
they did and are doing incredibly well in Champions League. So it's not like he's not winning games. It's just not working in the Premier League.
What it really matters for the fans right now, because they are not doing a good job of protecting themselves of not getting relegated, or at least not being at risk.
Right.
We talked about all these advantages and, I know these teams are 8-9 points ahead. Right now, that advantage disappeared with Tottenham. Mm-hmm. They were safe, we said 3 weeks ago. Right now, they're in like 17, 18 or something like that.
16th place. But only 5 points away from relegation.
Exactly.
So
the way they're going right now, those 5 games are going to evaporate.
Yeah, let's see. I just want to take a look who Tottenham have in the next few weeks.
Arsenal.
Yes.
Yay!
Speaking of which, Arsenal have a match in 2 days from now.
Oh no!
Yeah, they play Wolves because it got moved up due to the Man City game.
Yep. Tottenham, their next match is home against Arsenal, at Fulham, home against Palace. So 3 London derbies.
And 3 direct competitions.
Then you have Liverpool. Then you have a relegation battle with Forest. I wanted to see if they have. Oh, they've already played West Ham both times.
They still have Villa and Chelsea to close out the year.
And Everton. and Leeds. Like that. The more I look at their fixture list, I'm worried. Yeah. I am worried for Spurs. I know Nas is not worried. He's relishing.
I don't know. I've seen some Arsenal fans online were saying that if we miss out on hardware this year, the consolation would be if Tottenham got relegated.
Dude.
Yeah. What is that like? So I want your, and again, I know you don't speak for all Arsenal fans.
I don't.
We've had this conversation about Liverpool and Everton, about Manchester City and Manchester United.
Yeah.
I think deep down, Arsenal want/need Spurs to stay in the Premier League.
I don't know. I mean,
just to have that little.
Then the North London Derby ceases to exist. At least for the time being.
For the time being.
I would assume if they do.
There's still 5 other things in London.
Right, but nothing is.
We still have Brentford. We still have West Ham. Well,
Palace,
maybe. If
Fulham.
West Ham comes up, well, there you go. We'll trade one London team for the other.
There you go.
West Ham will come up and Tottenham will go down.
Yeah. But I think, not having a North London Derby twice a year.
Palace.
Certainly the Premier League wants Tottenham to stay up. Whether they'll say it or not is beside the point. But
well, I mean, again, brand new stadium, sort of like, what is it, 1 year old?
Yeah. Yeah, no, they put up a lot of money to get relegated.
I mean, Daniel Levy even said, regardless of making it wasn't the Champions League final, it wasn't this, it wasn't that, it was
Europa League.
Getting the stadium done was his crowning achievement.
Yeah.
Which something to be
makes
said for it,
sense,
but it's
though.
weird that it's not on the field stuff.
It's well, that legacy,
Yeah.
The players will come and go. The stadium will be there.
Speaking of West Ham, they hosted Manchester United. Man United was on a 4-match winning streak. United Strand was live, with Gerard Piqué doing all the stuff. We thought he was going to get a haircut, and Thomas Souček changed everything with that. A 50th minute goal put West Ham up 1-0, and then, guys, first of all, Fergie time is back.
Fergie time is back.
This is, I feel like every match under Carrick, they've had a late goal. This one, Benjamin Šeško, in the 6th minute of second half stoppage time to at least grab the point at West Ham. 1-1 draw. Man United still sitting in 4th place, 1 point above Chelsea. And West Ham now has picked up 10 points in their last 5 matches to
Incredible.
get within 3 points of getting out of the drop zone. So, great for them. They seem to be getting things going right. I've been saying it for weeks, if not months. I think West Ham has what it takes to get out of
There's
relegation.
also something that you didn't put either. Nottingham Forest. They didn't they just fire their 3rd manager of the year?
Yes.
Yeah.
So they
Sean
are. Sean Dyche is out.
Yeah.
We talked about it in Discord midweek.
So both Tottenham and Forest sacked their managers. last week.
They're coachless,
Yes.
quote unquote.
Well, no, Tottenham have one now, at least for
Tottenham have Igor
through the
Tudor.
end of the season. They got Igor Tudor. But yeah. Brent,
Both
and then
Tottenham
again,
and Forest are going to be fighting for that.
the capstone of the midweek match day, Brentford hosting Arsenal, a 1-1 draw. I think in a vacuum that is a fine result for Arsenal, but I'm sure all the pundits will be asking questions. We had talked about it last week. If and when Arsenal have that late game, when they see all the other results around them,
It's a little
they
tricky for
tend to
them.
falter a little bit, which is it's a natural thing. I've said it about Bournemouth doing it. Not every team has
100%.
that kind of killer instinct to get through it. That being said, they still have a 4-point lead in the league. And again, just like you said with Sunderland, who have since fallen off a little bit, but that away draw at Sunderland was not the tough result that everyone thought it was, and that was kind of the start of the worry warts coming through. So that does it for the midweek match week. Arsenal first place on 57, Man City second 53, Villa on 50, and Man United on 45, closing out the top 4. Chelsea in the Europa League spot on 44, followed by Liverpool on 42, Brentford 40, Everton and Bournemouth level on 37 points, Newcastle and Sunderland rounding out the top 10 on 36. In the relegation zone, we have Wolves in last on 9, Burnley on 18, West Ham on 24, although they are rising up quickly. Forest, the first team that is safe at the moment, on 27 points. Tottenham on 29. Will they play guessing the player for his career? Danny, who are you referring to? And so Spurs on 29 and Leeds after that, hot streak that they've had on 30. So a lot of good stuff, on both sides of the table. Plenty of battles to get down to this home stretch.
Yeah.
We have 12 match days left of the season.
Damn. All right, there you go. Crunch time, baby.
So, all right. On the weekend, we had some FA Cup action. Just a couple quick notes. Wrexham takes
Let's go.
it to
All right,
fellow
baby.
championship side Ipswich Town, a 1-0 victory for Wrexham, so they will move on. Mansfield Town, the League One team, beats their second team in a higher division after beating Sheffield United last round. They've defeated Burnley 2-1 in this one, a come-from-behind victory for them. And then one of the marquee matches of the round with 2 Premier League sides, Aston Villa 1, Newcastle 3. Villa actually went up early.
But came away with a red card.
14th minute goal from Tammy Abraham, and then a double from Sandro Tonali, followed up by Nick Voltemade in the 88th minute. Gives Newcastle the victory and advancing. I did think Newcastle was going to make it through this round. I thought it would be in extra time, though. I think Villa, with their recent slide, although they did win in the league midweek. I think they are trying to maybe focus on just the league and maybe Europe as opposed and kind of let the FA Cup slide through. So that is it for that. We will be doing an extended interview here in the second half of the show. So we're going to take a quick break here and we'll be right back with 100 Miles to Home, guys. Stay tuned.
Peace.
All right, welcome back to our Monday morning edition of A Soccer Fan Walks Into a Bar. I've got Diego and Naz right beside me. I'm Dave, and here we are, 100 Miles to Home, our coverage for local professional soccer. We are going to make this segment today, at least, exclusively Brooklyn FC women. They were back in action on the weekend. They were down in Fort Lauderdale, an incredibly exciting match. It ended 3-3. A Fort Lauderdale goal in the 30th minute from Abigail Hugh, followed up by 2 goals quickly in succession on either side of halftime. Catherine Zimmerman in the 41st and Santos in the 46th.
Nice.
Jasmine Hamid leveled things at 2-2 for Fort Lauderdale in the 64th. And then a Jordan Thompson 81st minute goal for Brooklyn is where we thought this was going to end until Ella Simpson in the 90th minute brought it to 3-3. This match had a little bit of everything. Rebecca Cook was sent off in the second half for Brooklyn. Lots of action. And again, it's good to see. Also, these games are all broadcast. I believe their deal is with Paramount. Don't quote me on that, but these matches are all available to be viewed.
Nice.
So good to see Brooklyn, getting goals at least. They struggled in the fall section of the season. I do think they have some momentum going through the end of the fall and now into the spring. And speaking of which, just before this match, earlier last week, I was able to sit down with Catherine Zimmerman. And she was very candid on, how the fall to spring kind of is going, what she sees for the future of Brooklyn FC, what she sees for the future of the Super League and women's soccer here in the States, as well as talking a little bit about her history playing in Australia as well. So we will get to that interview right now. I am here with Catherine Zimmerman of Brooklyn FC, the USL women's team. So first of all, Zim, thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule with us in this brisk cold that we have. As we get back up to speed with the winter break over, what's it like for you to have such a long layoff in between the fall and spring sections of the season?
Yeah, I haven't had that in a while. Playing overseas in Australia, like the season. Well, actually, I have had that. I've had a longer off season than this, but I guess within the same season we would play right through Christmas,
Right.
So no really like mid-season break. It was really just a longer off season, which was good and bad. So yeah, this having this a couple weeks off, it was nice to get a little bit of a rest, but also good to be back playing.
It almost reminds me of like the international breaks where some teams are kind of pissed that they've lost any momentum that they had. Some teams it's well deserved. It gives you a chance to get some players back that are maybe hurt or not fit yet. Gives the coaching staff some time to critique some things and work on some things. Is that kind of what you guys had been doing, most of the winter, is just kind of piecing together, and fine tuning some stuff?
Yeah, I mean, I think you make a good point, because I think we were kind of, going up and up kind of on a high for the last few games of the first part of the season. I think we were gelling pretty well and playing well, and we were feeling pretty good. So like you said, it's kind of like, it's a double-edged sword. It's nice to have a rest, but like also lose some momentum.
Yeah.
I don't think we've lost too much, but yeah, I mean, coming back, we're kind of just trying to get back into the rhythm and, just work on different tactical and technical things as a team. And yeah, again, it's like having a mini preseason for the first few weeks, but it's a good amount of time to get back into rhythm and work together and work on some things.
Good. As it stands right now, I believe you guys are just 2 points back from the last playoff spot. Obviously, not every team, with the way the schedule's worked out, has played the same amount of matches. What's the vibe in the dressing room, the locker room, about trying to make that push to get into one of those last couple spots for the playoffs?
Yeah, I think the good thing about this season is it's a long season. And it's a little weird when the games are sort of spread out. Again, it breaks things up. But I think there's just like a positive energy that, like, we can get there. Like, anything can happen. Like, any team can be any team any day. Like, there's nothing is written in stone. Like, it's up to us. Take each game as it comes. And, if we do the little things, if we win, like, we can find ourselves like in postseason.
Good. Now, Zim, as a veteran of the squad, you've got a pretty nice trophy cabinet. You've got experiences both here and abroad. Do you feel like you have you've taken on more of a leadership role with this group of girls?
That's a good question. It's something I think I need to work on myself. I'm not super vocal. I think I try and lead by example. I think I've always been like that. I think that would be a good challenge for me to be more vocal, be more of like a vocal leader. But I think this team has a lot of good leaders. Our captains are great. They're strong, and they're just good leaders and people that I trust. And I think our teammates, we trust them, and I'm okay with with them taking the reins. But yeah, I mean, that's something that I should and could and want to like work on, being more of a vocal like leader for the squad.
Now, within just the attacking minded players, what's day to day like with that? Like, obviously, there's only so many minutes on the field for each of you. Everyone, whether they're a defender or an attacker like you, they all want the goals anyway. How is that? Obviously, we're all I would think you're all team first there, but what's the competition? Is it healthy competition? Are there are you guys getting into each other, in training, both positively and negatively? How's that dynamic with you guys?
Yeah, I mean, I think we all have a high standard for ourselves and for our teammates. We hold each other like accountable for that. There's certain things we maybe should have, we should have scored that one or should have done this or that. Like, we're held accountable, but it's really from a place of respect and like usually said in a respectful way, that it's not like trying to put you down. It's just like, I know you're better than that. Like, you could have gotten that, or, something like that. But no, I think it's a competitive environment for sure, like you said, and a lot of good attacking players. And yeah, I mean, I don't feel any like animosity or like, bad energy from anyone around. Like, I think it's a good group of girls. Like, I think it's a good group of teammates. Like, we're supporting each other, but we're pushing each other, and we're all still competing we want to play.
All pulling the cart in the same direction.
Yeah.
All right. Now I want to take a little bit more of like a macro look at things, specifically with the Super League. It's obviously, it's no secret that U.S. professional soccer on the women's side has had its highs and obviously its lows as well. It's been a little bit of a roller coaster with WPS and WUSA and all that. What do you think the Super League provides, and what do you think can be a pivotal piece for the USL Super League to continue growing and have that long-term success that some of the other leagues were not able to achieve?
Yeah, I think a lot of it is just timing, just where we are literally in the world in the history of time. Like, like women's sport is huge now, like, and it's so great to be a part of that, and from like me and myself to be able to like kind of reap the benefits of that, because like you said, there's leagues when I was growing up, but like they never stuck around. It was kind of like, oh, this thing is here, but it's not super professional, or there's the standard, or not a lot of money, or whatever. But I guess with the USL, the one word that comes to mind is just like opportunity. Like, again, this league wasn't here when I graduated college. I think it's just opportunity for players to keep playing at a high level, professional level. And I guess going forward, the league, I think, has a lot of momentum, a good following. I think just gaining more and more following, like getting the league out there, marketing, advertising. I don't know.
Yeah.
The business side, like we need the name out there. Like,
I see it, with some other, American leagues, both on the men's and women's side. I think just getting the product out there and visible for consumption is probably one of the best things you can do. Obviously, the deal, the broadcasting deal that you guys have is first and foremost gonna help that. Now, for the first time in U.S. soccer history, we have 2 fully functioning women's leagues, both with first division status. Do you think that has any effect on you guys as a league? Are you kind of like keeping, your eyes? Obviously, I'm sure you have friends and colleagues that are playing in the NWSL as well. Is that something that you're looking at a consistent basis? Do you, keep track of all that, or are you just kind of tunnel vision for your goals and your squad, and that's all you care about for now?
Maybe a little bit of both. Like, it's good to know, like, the leagues around the world, in the US, like what's happening in them, and like certain players go to different leagues. Like, it's fun to keep up with that. I think I guess it was a good thing that the USL and NWSL, like, they're not really teams in competing like markets. I mean, we're sort of close to Gotham, but it's still like New Jersey, New York, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, I think for me personally, I'm just focused on our team, but I am like an avid sports fan in general. So like, I like to, hear about the Yankees or the Rangers, or I got into the Sirens, the women's ice hockey. Like, so I mean, it's fun to listen and know about other sports too, whether female or male sports. Like, it's good.
Speaking of other leagues, with a lot of players in the last couple of years from the U.S. kind of making their way into the European leagues, do you think that's at all a threat to, American leagues on the women's side? Do you think it is going to help raise the standard of some of the, American leagues and the American teams within them? What's your input on that as someone that has played, both here and abroad as well?
I mean, yeah, I guess surface level, it could be viewed as a threat. Like, all these huge big name players are going to go to Europe or overseas or anywhere. And yeah, like, maybe that takes a little bit away from the league, but I don't think it's the league or that team that they leave, but I don't think it's that big of a deal. Like, I think for that player, it's probably like one of the best opportunities of their life to play overseas and play at a high level. So I wouldn't look at it as a negative. I think it's good for all players. It's good for all leagues. It's good for like the fans, like just exposure to, like, if, what one player goes over to Europe, like maybe these fans will follow that league too. And I don't think that would mean that they would stop watching NWSL or following their team. I would hope not.
What was your mindset for wanting to, maybe not wanting to leave, but making the decision to leave and go play abroad in Australia?
It was so long ago now. I mean, out of college, I played for Sky Blue and NWSL, like for Gotham's formerly Sky Blue. Yep. And after I got cut there, I was training like as a train-on player, and then I went to Switzerland for a little bit because I was just like, I'll take anything. I just want to get out of here, basically. I just felt like I was like lacking purpose. I was recently like dropped, so I was just training and it was great training. Obviously, it's a great level, but I was just kind of over it. So I went to Switzerland, and that was like kind of weird, but a cool experience. And then I'd always wanted to go to Australia. I went there, signed with like an MPL team for the first couple years, and then I had 5 seasons in the A League. So like my goal was to make A League when I went out there, which like it wasn't, nothing was guaranteed, and I was just like,
Right.
I'm just gonna see what happens. And it was, I mean, I absolutely loved my time there. It was great.
What preempted the decision to wanting to come back then? Is it just something, about, obviously you're from New Jersey originally? Is it something about coming back home? Is it, the project of, the Super League? Is it, other, things going on? Take us, through that kind of mindset as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think pretty much like what you said. When I left, when I graduated college, when I went overseas, like this wasn't here. And again, like this was just a great opportunity. Like I think before the league came about, there was like whispers of like another professional league. And I was like, oh, that would be cool. So cool to be able to play in that. And I think just nearing the tail end of my career, I hope I have a couple years left, but I just wanted to be able to play at home in front of family and friends, because Australia is a long drive for them.
Yeah. So, kind of flipping the script a little bit of, instead of Americans going abroad, obviously it was made headline news all over the place with, the Trinity Rodman deal. There was a lot of uncertainty. Would she stay? Would she leave? Personally, I'm thrilled that, they found a way to, fit that in with staying here in the U.S. With no salary cap, in the Super League within reason. Do you think, the model that you guys have going on in your league can create a, another opportunity to do stuff like that and to bring in, those caliber players as well?
I mean, hopefully. I mean, I feel like that's a question above my pay grade. I don't know the money stuff.
Well, do you hear any whispers, of within your, friend circle or your colleagues or people that that are like, oh shoot, like, hey, maybe something can happen here, and maybe I'll come to Brooklyn or something like that? Is that, on your radar at all?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's always whispers of like some, like maybe a national team player, like going
obviously
there,
you
like,
don't have to name names if
no, I'm just thinking of a couple like Australians too, like they had like, there was whispers of some coming to this league, blah blah blah. I'm thinking the Trinity Rodman one, like there was a rumor going around too that she was gonna sign for DC. So
yeah, I remember hearing that, and I, again, obviously, you're in the Super League, but I was talking to some friends that follow NWSL pretty significantly, and I'm like, what would the odds be of, like, of all the places in the world, she's staying in DC, but going to another league? So I mean, it certainly would have made for some fireworks in US soccer circles.
It would have been huge. But I mean, she's well deserving of what she's got, what she's earned at with her contract now. Like she's killing it and she deserves it. So it's all good stuff.
I don't know if you're a fan of it, but the rumors are out that the next season of Ted Lasso is going to follow the women's game. Obviously, some good, some bad. There has been an uptick in soccer fandom directly off that show. Do you think this next season on the women's side of things, do you think that would give any relevance or help boost the women's game at all on TV and in media?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I'm so excited for that season.
Me too.
But yeah, like I think, I mean, it's just like a wave. Like I think like women's sport is like the moment right now. Like you have the 99ers movie, like with like the Mia Hamm, Brandi Chastain story. Like can't wait for that too. I think any type of like entertainment to do with like women's sport right now is huge and gonna do well. And yeah, I mean, I love a a scripted show.
Yeah,
So,
no, and it's amazing to me to see whether it's the Wrexham show or a lot of these all or nothing things now with Man City and Arsenal and again the fact that a show significantly surrounding this game of soccer is one of the top shows in the world with Ted Lasso. It's amazing to see that that storyline is selling. I mean, I'm a little bit older than you, but we're from the same geographic region as well. And when you tell people you play soccer, back when we were growing up, it was like, huh? What are you talking about? So to see it in pop culture now is really an incredible step, I think, for the game.
Yeah. No, I agree. I'm excited.
Awesome. Well, Zim, thank you so much for taking this time with me. Best of luck with the rest of the season. I think you have still a little bit more of an extended break now after your last match. So, stay healthy, stay warm, certainly. And, like I said, good luck. And hopefully you guys make that playoff push.
Thanks. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Yep.